This is our monthly check-in with Lancaster County, and we have Dennis Marstall with us, who is the Lancaster County Administrator. And last time he was here, we joked with him about having some walk-in music. And so not only did he provide us with some talking points, but he provided us with some song choices.
A whole list.
So TJ picked that one. That was a great one to get it kicked off.
No, Dennis, why that one? Why the Bon Jovi?
Well, thank you, TJ. But certainly living on a prayer, you got to have a little prayer to start out the day and get
That's
going.
right.
So true.
A child of the 80s, so it's good to get some rocking into.
That was a good one.
Did either of you ever see Bon Jovi live in concert?
I have never seen Bon Jovi live, but I did watch him a lot on MTV.
Yeah, good groups, a lot of good songs, and that one's a good one.
Yes. That is a good one. All right, Dennis, let's get down to business. There's a lot going on in Lancaster County, and if you would, I know that y'all are wanting to pass a 1-cent sales tax, kind of like pennies for progress here in York County. So it's a transportation sales tax. If you would, just bring the audience up to speed on where we are with that tax.
Sure. Anyone who's been down Highway 521 through Indian Land and on through, you see it's a little congested, a little busy. But that's great. It speaks to our growth going on, but we want to try to get ahead of growth. So we have a proposal that County Council will have their third reading on Monday night. We'll talk about a 15-year program to deploy $400 million on over 125 road projects throughout the county. The biggest one, of course, is widening 521 from the North Carolina state line about 7.5 miles south to Walnut Creek area, and that will be widening one lane in each direction. We're looking to commit $60 million just for that one project to make sure that we have local funds to attract state funds and federal funds. And so the council action will be to put it to the voters' decision in November of 2024 in the presidential election. So we have one more reading. We'll see where it goes, but county council will have that conversation and determine if it'll be on the ballot for citizens.
Where do you think the citizens are with it? Have you gotten any feedback? Like, how do you feel going into that board meeting to decide if it's going to be up for election?
Well, I do think it's easy to see the congestion and people who sit in it and feel the traffic delays and waits. So I think it's an easy sell in terms of that. They understand it, particularly when you talk about 521. But what they're also not seeing, but they understand, is that all of our 4 municipalities, Lancaster, the city, but even Heath Springs, Kershaw, Ben Wack, we have road programs in there. So there will be local roads that will be done as well. Otherwise, we're at the mercy of the funding from SCDOT. And so some of these roads, if we don't do them on this list, it truly could be 30, 40 years before some of these roads would be addressed.
Wow.
And I would imagine, too, us being your neighbors here over in York County, you kind of see how we have the pennies for project, and as time goes by and the cost of materials, things happen, it does shape-shift your project, as we just had to go through and narrow down what was once prioritized and find a happy medium for all. So to be able to get ahead on a timely basis is kudos if it gets voted on back in November.
Correct. And I think one thing is also, but realize with it, the question to the voters is, do you want to raise the sales tax 1% to help provide the $400 million for this program? So it is a discussion that voters will have to think about financially, but the good thing about the sales tax is people from out of county help pay for the sales tax.
Right.
And so people who also use the roads. But I think people who understand sitting in traffic is a choice.
Unfortunately, it is a choice, and that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
If you could put it on the ballot like that, I think people would be better to understand what exactly that means.
I also want to highlight that a part
Sure.
of the roads, we said 125 roads, part of it also is we've been accused of not keeping up with growth. And so we know that there are new schools coming on. They're proposed as well for new schools around, if you're familiar with the area, Barberville and Harrisburg Road. We want to widen those roads to get ahead of where we know the new schools will be. So we can't be accused of, well, your new schools are coming, but you didn't keep up with it. So hopefully this will allow us to do that. We'll also do some side road widenings. So, for instance, Henry Harris. So that way you take some of the pressure off of 521 and have some better flow throughout the county.
And it's also a safety issue when it comes to that. I mean, if you're talking about schools and neighborhoods, because we know where schools pop up, neighborhoods, or vice versa, and there's a lot of neighborhoods popping up on 521 as well. So that could help with the safety issue. Is there a dollar amount for what that whole project will cost?
Yeah, so we're saying over 15 years, the sales tax 1% will generate up to or over $400 million. So we have a $400 million package, and the voters in Lancaster County will have a decision because the school board has already decided they're going to put a bond issue on the ballot in November as well. So we're going to have two financially impacted bond questions if this goes forward on the county side. So it'll be a lot of conversation. But again, I think people understand that if we don't do something with our own local resources, we're just waiting for the state. And that could be a long period.
So just to kind of wrap it up in a bow one last time, it's going to go before the county council for a third reading.
For a third reading this coming week from Monday.
Okay.
And that way, if it passes county council, it will then go to a citizens vote in November. It'll be a 15-year, $400 million transportation sales tax.
Wow. Is there anything else that you're working on this summer here in Lancaster County? That's a very open-ended, dangerous question.
Well, we'll end with, we've got some great plans for July 4th. We can end with that. But we have ongoing projects. We've been talking a lot about our regional park. We have an 84-acre, soon to actually be a 100-acre regional park off of 521. And that is coming along nicely. We saw some 3D visuals about what we're going to have from baseball diamond, soccer field, splash pad, amphitheater, pickleball courts and basketball courts and different things, walking trails certainly, and even hopefully a Frisbee golf.
Everything.
So, everything. It's a regional park with 100 acres. We try to maximize that. So that's in our planning stage. We're going to have a groundbreaking in October for that.
And where exactly is that located?
There's a new development called Roseland right off of 521, about 4 miles north of the city of Lancaster.
Okay.
And so it'll be off 521. You can't see it from 521, but it's down one of the roads. In addition, you don't really want to highlight that you're building a new detention center, but we are building a new detention center. It's a need with a growing community. But we're looking at different things. We just had our budget adoption a week ago today. And so with that adoption, we're basically $149.5 million budget, growing budget because we have a growing population. But we've put county council's focus is public safety. So within this new budget, we are hiring 9 new positions. Of those, most of them are dedicated to public safety. We're doing some new correction officers for the sheriff so we get prepared for the detention center when that comes online in about 3 years. But we also hired 2 new firefighters to help serve our volunteer ranks, to help support them. And we also have a new position for our Veterans Affairs. So thinking of July 4th and our veterans, we have a growing population, certainly in the South, but in Lancaster County. And so the caseload has been increasing significantly. But you bring in people who qualify for benefits. You bring in some revenue to the county by helping them get their benefits when they move here. And so having a new Veterans Affairs staff member, I think, will be beneficial for our population. And then otherwise, all public safety. We were doing some more conversions of sheriff's deputies, some grant-funded positions. So we're focusing on public safety, got a budget going, and making the investments in technology and equipment facilities.
All great things happening in Lancaster.
Yes.
And we want to round up with, I know that you're having a 4th of July event that you wanted to highlight real quick before
Absolutely,
we
our
break.
Rockin' Stars and Stripes Spectacular.
All right.
We're actually doing it on the 3rd, so come out at 5:30. And we're going to have, if anyone's familiar with American Idol, one of the contestants, Braden Phillips band, is from the area. They're going to be playing for us as well. Fireworks start at 9:30. It will be at the Buford Recreation Center, which is in kind of the eastern part of the county. But 5:30, July 3rd, Buford Recreation Center. Bring a blanket, bring a chair, bring your family, and have fun.
All right. Well,
So
it sounds
many good
great.
things
Great
happening.
things going on in Lancaster. And again, we have been speaking with Dennis Marstall, who is the Lancaster County Administrator. We look forward to being back with you this time next month with all of the updates, and we hope that you have a great 4th of July holiday.
Appreciate it. Happy 4th to you.